What if I told you that the thing you're holding onto the tightest is the very thing destroying your life? This monkey discovered a treasure that could have changed everything. But instead of using it, he guarded it for decades. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why the things we refuse to let go of are often the chains that bind us. Stay until the end, because the twist in this ancient fable will completely change how you see your own life. Deep in a jungle where the trees grew so thick that sunlight barely touched the ground, there lived a clever monkey named Kavi. Now, Kavi wasn't like the other monkeys. While they spent their days playing, grooming each other, and searching for fruit, Kavi was always exploring, always curious, always looking for something more. One day, while the other monkeys were napping in the afternoon heat, Kavi ventured to a part of the jungle he'd never been before. There, hidden behind a waterfall, he discovered a cave, and in that cave, half buried in the mud, was something that made his heart stop. A stone. But not just any stone. This stone caught the little bit of light that filtered into the cave and split it into 1,000 colors. It was smooth, perfectly round, and it seemed to pulse with an inner glow. Kavi had never seen anything like it. He didn't know what it was, but he knew one thing with absolute certainty. It was precious. He picked it up with trembling hands. It was warm. It hummed with energy, and in that moment, Kavi made a decision that would define the rest of his life. "This is mine," he whispered. "No one can ever know about this." From that day forward, Kavi's life changed completely. He took the stone back to his part of the jungle and hid it in a hollow tree. But hiding it wasn't enough. He needed to guard it, protect it, keep it safe. He stopped playing with the other monkeys. When they called to him to join their games, he made excuses. "I'm tired," he'd say, or "I'm not feeling well." The truth was, he couldn't leave his tree. What if someone found the stone while he was gone? He stopped exploring new parts of the jungle. That curiosity that had defined him, gone, replaced by fear. Every rustling leaf, every snapping twig made his heart race. What if someone was coming for his treasure? The other monkeys noticed the change. "Kavi, what's wrong?" his friend Maya asked one day. "You're not yourself anymore." "Nothing's wrong," Kavi snapped, positioning himself in front of his tree. "Everything's fine. Just leave me alone." But here's what's fascinating, and I want you to really think about this, because this is where the story gets deep. Kavi never actually did anything with the stone. He never looked at it to enjoy its beauty. He never tried to understand what it was. He never shared it with anyone. He just guarded it. His entire existence became about one thing, making sure no one took what was his. Sound familiar? Years passed, then decades. Kavi grew old. His fur turned gray. His movements became slower. The hollow tree where he kept the stone became more worn, and Kavi himself became more and more isolated. The other monkeys had stopped inviting him to join them. They'd formed families, raised children, created communities. They'd discovered new fruit trees together, protected each other from predators, celebrated births, and mourned deaths. They'd lived, and Kavi sat by his tree, guarding a stone he never used. One day, a young monkey named Jai was swinging through the trees and accidentally crashed near Kavi's hollow tree. Some fruit he'd been carrying spilled everywhere, and one piece rolled right into the hollow. Sorry, Jai said, reaching in to grab his fruit. "No!" Kavi shrieked, lunging forward with more energy than he'd had in years. "Don't touch that! Get away!" Jai jumped back, startled, but in Kavi's panic, the stone rolled out of the hollow and into the sunlight for the first time in decades. Jai's eyes widened. "Whoa! What is that?" Kavi quickly snatched it up and held it to his chest, breathing hard. But Jai wasn't trying to take it. He was just curious. And in his eyes, Kavi saw something he hadn't seen in his own reflection in years. Wonder. "Where did you get that?" Jai asked softly. And for the first time in decades, Kavi began to talk. He told Jai about the cave behind the waterfall, about the day he found it, about how special it was. "Have you ever shown it to anyone else?" Jai asked. Kavi shook his head. "Why not?" And Kavi opened his mouth to answer, but realized he didn't have a good reason. He'd spent his entire life guarding something, but he couldn't actually explain why. That question haunted Kavi for days. Why had he done this? What was he so afraid of? Finally, one morning, he made a decision. He took the stone and went to the clearing where the other monkeys gathered. Many of them didn't even recognize him at first. It had been so long. I have something to show you, Kavi said quietly. He held out the stone. In the morning light, it was more beautiful than ever. The monkeys gathered around, gasping at its beauty. "It's amazing," Maya whispered. "Where did you find it?" Kavi told them. And then he said something that surprised even himself. "I want to share it with all of you." And here's where something magical happened. The monkeys didn't fight over it. They didn't try to take it. Instead, they passed it around, each one marveling at its beauty. The young ones squealed with delight at how it caught the light. The elders examined it with wise eyes and told stories of similar stones they'd heard about in legends. One monkey, who had traveled far before settling in this jungle, said, "I've seen stones like this before. They're called river gems. Traders prize them. You could trade this for food for the whole troop for a year." Another said, "My grandmother told me stones like this have healing properties if you know how to use them." Jail, a young monkey suggested, "We could put it in the center of the clearing. It could be a symbol of our community, something we all protect together." Kavi listened to all of this in amazement. All these years, he thought the stone's value was in keeping it hidden, in making sure no one else had it. But now he realized the stone's true value only emerged when it was shared. The monkeys decided to place the stone in a special place in the center of their community, where everyone could see it and enjoy it. But more than that, the stone became a catalyst for something bigger. Inspired by Kavi's story and his willingness to finally share, the monkeys began sharing other things. One monkey knew where the sweetest fruits grew and started teaching the others. Another knew how to predict weather changes and helped keep everyone safe. The elders shared their wisdom more freely. The young shared their energy and joy. The community became stronger, more connected, more alive. And Kavi. For the first time in decades, Kavi felt free. He realized that all those years he'd spent guarding the stone, he hadn't been protecting it from others. He'd been imprisoning himself with fear. The stone had never needed him to guard it, but he'd needed to let it go. He started playing again, exploring again, connecting with others again. The young monkeys loved hearing about his adventures and discoveries. He'd missed so much life, but what remained, he was determined to live fully. Maya approached him one evening as the sun set, the stone glowing in the center of the clearing. "Are you sad that it's not just yours anymore?" she asked. Kavi looked at the stone, surrounded by happy, laughing monkeys, and then looked at his friend, a friend he'd nearly lost to his fear. "No," he said. "Now I see that it was never really mine at all. I was just its prisoner. Now we're both free." So what's the lesson here? What you cling to out of fear never grows. What you share multiplies. Think about your own life right now. What are you holding on to so tightly that you've become its guard rather than its user? Is it money you're too afraid to invest or spend on experiences? Is it knowledge you won't share because you think it gives you an edge? Is it love you won't express because you fear rejection? Is it a dream you won't pursue because you're afraid of failing? Here's the truth. The things we guard most jealously often become our prisons, and the things we share freely become our greatest treasures. Kavi spent decades guarding a stone that could have fed his community, healed the sick, or brought joy to everyone. Instead, it sat in darkness, doing nothing, worth nothing, being nothing, and so did he. Don't be Kavi. Don't let fear turn your treasures into chains. What's your precious stone? And more importantly, when are you going to set it free? And hey, if this story resonated with you, show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing for more life-changing fables. It helps us share these lessons with more people, kind of like Kavi sharing his stone, right?